Okay, thanks for joining me, Jamal. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and Brose, if you could please, and what you do for Brose?
Yeah, my name is Jamal Belt. As Kirk mentioned, I work for Brose Nord Amerika in production logistics. I'm responsible for material flow, equipment we use within those processes, and um, some of the MTM things that we do around logistics.
Can you explain MTM?
Yeah, MTM is a time measurement tool that we use to assess the effort that's needed to perform a process or task, in this case related to logistics, and we use this to gauge the effort so that we can plan our head count and our let's say hours around the work that needs to be done.
And what kind of business is Brose in?
Brose is in the automotive business. We are a tier one, sometimes tier two level supplier of doors, seats, drive systems, motors, electronics. So a little bit of everything related to the, let's say, the interior of a vehicle.
So Jamal, maybe you can tell me what your delivery system was like before the introduction of the IDENTYTEC solution.
Yeah, sure. Prior to the IDENTYTEC system, we pretty ran on what we would call coupled routes. We would have a operator driving around to all of the points of use, delivery points, scanning to order material for the production operation, collecting those, and then driving back to the warehouse, making the picking process, confirming that they've picked this material, and then driving back through the plant to deliver this material. And with that, it took a lot of time, a lot of waste, just to identify what components needed reordering. So there was a lot of unnecessary driving, over scanning, the gambit of what could go wrong with
Right.
with the ordering process.
So Jamal, you've been using the IDENTYTEC solution in most of your Brose factories for a few years now. What's your experience with it, and what advantages do you see in the logistics process?
Well, so far the experience has been great. The biggest benefit that we've been able to achieve, as I mentioned in my previous response, that we're able to decouple the routes. This has eliminated extra driving. It's eliminated overscanning, and just the overall effort that was required in the couple process. In addition to that, we've been able to, let's say, see more of the effect of how we order material, trends. We're able to keep track of the points of view stations where we could potentially have overscanning in the past. We can have visualization to the performance of the system and how everything is working in relation to how we order and then deliver material. So the overall benefits have given us, let's say, more data around how we handle this process.
So Jamal, the system is able to work standalone, but you guys have chosen to connect it to your SAP. What advantage do you see by connecting directly to SAP versus maybe a standalone system?
Yeah, the biggest advantage for us in connecting it to SAP, it really comes down to a single source for all of our information, and our enterprise system is SAP, and everything we do is around SAP. So we saw it as a benefit to, remain in this environment, and then our plants are able to plan across one platform, so to speak. And so everything we do, we try to maintain in SAP where possible. And being that IDENTYTEC was flexible enough to make this integration, it just added to the advantage of using the system within SAP as well.
So coming from the scanning process before, what's changed on the day-to-day basis with the introduction of the IDENTYTEC process?
Yeah, the biggest change that we've seen is really around the driving, where we don't have as much inefficiencies coming out of the delivery process, where we're driving around looking for orders or even delivering them. So all of our driving is more targeted. Secondly, we don't have the issue with overscanning, the problem with overscanning. So, or underscanning in that matter, too, things are being ordered when they should be, and then we're not over ordering material, which would be a wasteful event for us as well.
So Jamal, do you have any intention on expanding the IDENTYTEC solution?
We see a lot of benefits with the system, and we do have some plans to expand the equipment that we currently use, and even some other features or functions that IDENTYTEC offers. Right now, we've primarily focused on some of the lasers and the triggers, but going forward, we're definitely looking into broadening the use of some of the GOT triggers that allow us to move pallets to the line as full load units. So there are plans for us to expand.
Are you using any AGVs, and do you think you might integrate this in with your AGV system?
We are going to be implementing AGVs in the region. We have a project that we're working on already, and that project will actually incorporate the already existing equipment that we have from IDENTYTEC. If we need additional equipment, it will be added in support of our AGV project as well, and future projects in the region as well.
So how did you go about finding IDENTYTEC, and what made you want to integrate that into your system?
Well, I was personally aware of IDENTYTEC through the use of IDENTYTEC in our plant in Marana in Germany. I don't know, maybe 10 or 11 years ago. It was implemented there, but it didn't. We didn't expand into other plants from there. It was more of a pilot project that actually went quite successfully. Subsequent to that, some of our colleagues here in Mexico started to work on a similar technology, but internal. And we realized, you know, from my previous knowledge, that there were market-based solutions out there, and IDENTYTEC was at the forefront of that as we started looking deeper into it. So we decided to investigate a little bit more. We did a business case, work with IDENTYTEC to get information that'll help us with our business case, and we did that analysis, and it came back positive in this case, that the system would be feasible for us to implement, and so we pursued it, and here we are with the system throughout the region now.
So can you tell me a little bit about how the collaboration was between IDENTYTEC and Brose?
Yeah, the collaboration between the two companies, IDENTYTEC and Brose, was really easy overall. Our plants related to training and implementation, the feedback was positive. It was a really seamless process, not many hiccups. The overall collaboration with the development portion of it, our IT, our physical operations, it was really collaborative, and IDENTYTEC was really open and present with the process. So it wasn't as difficult as we thought it would be. And we spent a lot of time prior to the implementation and discussions and meetings, and it went off well.
Okay, Jamal. Well, I appreciate your time, and thanks for answering these questions.
Thank you, Kirk, for inviting me.
See ya.